Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to be doing a little Q&A. I feel like in my first couple of videos I didn't get to talk to you as much. You guys haven't really gotten to know me. So me and hopefully the dogs will behave enough so that they can stay in the room. But we'll see. Sometimes they get rambunctious. But yeah, so today I thought that I would answer a few questions so you guys can get to know me, and then maybe you guys can answer them in the comments as well so I can get to know you. I decided to get a little dressed up for you today, you know. Got a nice shirt on, but also got my my shorts on underneath, my pajama shorts on underneath, so you know, quarantine life. But I did do my makeup, which I haven't done in like forever. But yeah, so let's go ahead and get into these questions. I have them on my phone, so you'll probably see me looking down a lot. But yeah, let's see. First question. Well, first off, my name is Jen. If you don't know me, welcome to my channel. I am a military spouse. My husband is active duty in the Coast Guard, and we are stationed in Alabama right now. So the first question is, where did you grow up? So I was born and raised in Franklin Square, New York. I lived there until I think I was like 21. So pretty much my whole life I lived in New York, and then I moved to Florida to go to school. So yeah, I grew up in New York. Question 2 is, how old are you? I just turned 25. My birthday was in March, so sadly it was actually right before the whole quarantine thing happened, but we didn't really get to do anything because the world was going into lockdown, so unfortunately. But once we get out of this, hopefully we'll go and celebrate. But I'm 25 years old. Where do you currently live? So I kind of already answered this already. I currently live in Mobile, Alabama. We just got stationed here in the beginning of July. We like moved in like July 1st. So before that we were stationed in Cape Canaveral, Florida. So we were living in Cape Canaveral. We lived there for a year. But before that we lived a year in Orlando because I had went to Orlando to go to school and we met, and so we lived there. And then once I was almost done with school, we moved to Cape Canaveral because it was closer for work for him, and it was literally right on the beach. So who wouldn't love to live right across the street from the beach? Question 4 is, dogs or cats? Dogs, obviously. I don't know. Oh, there's Chloe. We have Chloe and we have Max here. So obviously we are dog people in this house. I do not like cats at all. They honestly scare me. I feel like they're so, I don't know, like they could just like change moods at any second. So I don't like cats. They scare me. Question 5 is, have you gone to college? And yes, I have gone to college. So I went to community college in New York. I went to Nassau Community College and I got my associate's degree there in hospitality management. And then after that I moved to Florida to go to the University of Central Florida, specifically Rosen College of Hospitality Management, and I got my bachelor's degree there, and I graduated last December 2018. I graduated. So yeah, they just wanted to whine me. He's whining. Are you whining? Be quiet. cry for mom? He's such a sweet boy. He's such a sweet boy. Okay. Next. What is your favorite drink? So, my favorite drink is probably Coke, but it's so bad for you, so I've been trying to stay away from that. So, I've been drinking Arizona sweet tea, which isn't much better, but it's a little bit better than Coke. So yeah. What is your favorite movie? I feel like a lot of people are going to judge me on this, but I would have to say that my favorite movie is Dirty Dancing. I don't know why. I could watch that movie like over and over and over again and never get tired of it. And recently I saw a post on Facebook, and it was that Kellerman's, which is like, if you've never seen it, they go to a resort for the summer. So Kellerman's is the resort that they stayed at, and it's like a real place. And so I saw a post that you can go and actually like stay in the cabin that they filmed in, and they have like a whole trail dedicated to like the movie, and it's in Virginia, I think. Yeah, Virginia. So I really want to go there when this whole quarantine is over. I really want to go there. Who is your favorite YouTuber? So I have quite a few. I feel like my top YouTuber is probably Victoria Fox. She is a smaller YouTube channel, but she is also a military wife. Her husband, I believe, is in the Air Force, and like they're just like the sweetest couple. Like, she's so nice and she seems like so down to earth, and so her videos I always enjoy watching. And recently she got a full-time job and she hasn't been uploading a lot, and so I was kind of bummed out, but she's probably my top. I also like Tara Henderson, Cami Carter, and yeah, I think those are my top for sure, that I like never miss a video of them. Next question, are you single or are you taken? I am taken. I'm married to my husband Jonathan. Our anniversary is actually coming up in like 2 weeks. We'll be married for 2 years. So question number 10 is, how many siblings do you have? So I have 2 siblings. I have an older sister, her name is Michelle, and I have a younger brother. His name is Christopher. I think he's 18, and I think my sister's 29-ish, maybe, I think. So yes. Number 11, which parent are you most like? So I feel like I'm a good mix of both of my parents, but honestly, my mom says I'm my father's daughter, so she thinks I'm so much like my dad, but my dad says I'm my mother's daughter, so he thinks I'm like my mother. But honestly, if I had to pick, I'd probably say I'm more like my mom than my dad, for sure. What is your favorite childhood memory? So I have to give him affection or he whines. You're my little baby. So my favorite childhood memory is probably going camping to Strawberry Park. So every year me and my family would go camping. We had a trailer and we would take that to Connecticut to a place called Strawberry Park, and I looked forward to that like every year. We went, we bought my cousins with us, and so it was me, my sister, my brother, my 2 cousins, and then for a while my other cousins. They're not really related to us, but we've been friends forever, so we call them cousins. they went with us as well, and it was always just so much fun. There was so much to do there. They had horseback riding, they had bingo, like every night. They had dances, pool parties, pool games, all of that fun stuff. And so when we stopped going, I think it was like probably when, like, I want to say like when I started college, because like my sister had a lot going on, so she had already stopped going, and I was working and going to school and all of that. So when I found out we weren't going anymore, I was very sad. But they did change owners anyway, and so it's not as good, but it's still a good place. Let's see. Question number 13 is, what is your favorite food? So my favorite food is probably chicken and fries. I could eat that literally every single meal. Chick-fil-A is my favorite. I don't like their chicken nuggets, but I got a chicken sandwich from them in Alabama. I don't know how I didn't know about this sooner, but there's this place called Foosackly's, and it's like Zaxby's, but better. I don't like Zaxby's, but Foosackly's is amazing. Their chicken tenders are so good, and their fries are so good. So yeah, I would say chicken tenders and french fries, but they can't be frozen chicken tenders, because I don't know why, I just don't like frozen chicken tenders. I just don't. What are your hobbies? So my hobbies, I like to craft. I have a Cricut, and so I like to make little signs and stuff like that. Me and Jonathan, if you watched our last video, we started like building furniture, and so I enjoyed like staining the furniture. We made a little bench, and so like I like doing the upholstery on that and everything. So I don't like to sew. I can't sew and I can't knit, but pretty much anything like craft wise I enjoy doing. I also like to read a lot, so yeah, but growing up I never liked to read, but now I enjoy reading. So, and final question is, what are some different jobs that you had? So my first job ever was working at Baskin-Robbins. There was a Baskin-Robbins literally like down the block from my house, and so we were able to walk to it when we couldn't drive. I started working when I was 15. I got my worker's permit, and so I only worked there for like 6 months though, because I did not enjoy it that much, honestly. But my sister actually worked there for like years. Like, she worked there, and then when she got older she got a different job, and when she was like saving up money, she actually went back to working both jobs, and they like loved my sister so much that they would give her like whatever hours she needed or wanted. So my sister worked there, my brother worked there. He worked there shorter than I did. I think I worked there for like 6 months. And my cousin actually worked there, so it was like a whole family affair, because my parents actually knew the owners. Not knew them, but they went in often, and so they got close. Like, my mom goes in there like every day and gets a chocolate shake. So yeah, so we all worked there, and then after that I worked at Rita's Italian Ice, and I loved that job. It was seasonal, so I only worked there in the summer from like March until, I don't know when we closed, maybe like October-ish. I I loved that job so much. It was so fun. It was like not stressful at all, and I loved the people that I worked with. And then after that, I worked at H&M, and I worked there for 3 years, and at the time I didn't enjoy it that much. Like, I enjoyed the people that I worked with, but I didn't enjoy other things. And so but looking back now, I actually really miss that job. It was like the perfect job. I started when I was, I guess, 18. I think you have to be to work there. So I started when I was 18. And it was like the perfect first job because you can literally like get as many hours that you wanted. Well, at least at the mall that I was at, I worked at Roosevelt Field Mall, and that mall is like huge, and that H&M is huge. If you've ever been there, they actually made it a flagship store because it made like so much money. It makes so much money per year. And so if you like, you could be a part-time working full-time hours, and the starting pay was so good. And I made like really good friends working there. And so I loved it there. And then I worked there until I moved to Florida, and then when I moved to Florida, I did transfer with the company, and I worked at the one in Altamont Springs, Florida. But that store was just so slow. Like, it did not make any money, and so I was getting very little hours, so I ended up quitting that job. And then after that, I worked at a hotel. I worked at Westgate for 2 years as a front desk agent. And I did rooms coordinator for a little bit over there. And then when we moved from Orlando to Cape Canaveral, I transferred with that company, and I transferred to the one in Cocoa Beach, and I was front desk agent there. And then sadly, when we moved to Alabama, there is no Westgate around here, and so I had to quit my job there when we moved. And then when we moved here, it took me a while to find a job here. Like, it took me like a good, when did I start working? It took me like a good month, maybe a little bit more, to actually find a job here. And I worked at the Coast Guard Exchange, which is on the same base that Jonathan works at. And I was a cashier there, and then I actually did all the receiving for that one exchange, which was really good. It was only part-time, which sucks, and if you live in Alabama or anything like that, you know that the pay isn't as great either, so the pay wasn't great. But the hours were amazing when I did receiving. I worked 8 to 2 p.m. Monday through Friday pretty much, and had the weekend off, so I enjoyed that job. I enjoyed the people that I worked with as well. They were all so nice. But sadly, because it wasn't enough money and I couldn't go full-time there, I did have to quit. And now I am working, well, currently not working because of the quarantine, but I do work at a hotel, but I'm not going to tell you guys which one. So, but yeah, those are all the jobs that I've had. And I feel like, oh, I also worked for Applebee's for a little bit. When I was working at H&M, I worked at H&M and Applebee's, and I was a hostess, and I worked at the one in New Hyde Park in New York. And so, yeah, I didn't really like that job, but I had to do it because I needed an internship for my college in New York. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. I needed a internship, and so it was just like a really simple, quick easy internship that I was able to get, and so I worked there for like 1 semester and then I ended up quitting. But I was moving anyway to Orlando, so yeah, that is all the jobs that I've had. And honestly, like looking back, in the moment I probably didn't like most of them except Frida's. I really liked Frida's, and H&M, like I had my moments. I was like, oh, this is, you know, when Black Friday rolls around and you have to leave your family on Thanksgiving because you have a shift to work and all that, but that wasn't fun. But looking back, I actually did enjoy it, and I do miss working with the people that I worked with. But yeah, and that is all the questions that I have. If you guys have any more questions for me, feel free to leave them down in the comments. If you want to answer some of the questions, again, leave them down in the comments, your answers, so we can talk and get to know each other. And I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. And I'm sorry if you hear Chloe chewing on her toy in the back. But yeah, that is all, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!